I'm head of South for Rinnai UK. I cover a team of four, promoting our range of products to create a healthy way of living and work on building services within the UK. H1 is anything gaseous. H2 is the hybrid solutions with heat pumps and solar, etc. And H3 is standalone heat pumps. And we've brought those into the UK over the last 2 years, looking at bigger projects now and just trying to promote the building services in a better way. H3, as I said, is based on air source heat pumps. So if you get the system right, potentially for every kilowatt you put into a heat pump, you should get more out. And we've worked on a number of systems where on the hot water side alone, you can get sometimes 3 kilowatts out for every kilowatt you put in. So therefore, you are moving towards more energy efficiency, lower carbon emissions, and lower energy usage. The key benefits from our H3 is that we offer a whole design solution. So all the components are sized to work effectively with each other, giving you better performance. We've put together a secondary measurement, if you like, because most heat pumps are COP and SCOP, which is that every kilowatt you put in, you get X amount out. Unfortunately, as soon as you add another component part onto the system, that lowers the performance. So the SPF measurement actually gives you a total overall measurement of what you will get out from a system. And the benefit of that is you can actually see, or your client can see, what their running costs would be. We had a leisure centre in Woking where they had 5 standalone heat pumps operating. They liked the fact that they had some built-in redundancy. So if one heat pump was offline, they still had 80% of the system. A lot of systems these days are designed on M+1, so you have that extra air source heat pump to cover any failure or any low supply. I'd say the main thing that sets us apart is that we do supply the whole kit, if you like, the whole system, and it is all sized to work effectively with each other. So there is one manufacturer. If there is any issues, it's one manufacturer from a supply point of view. But also we have, as I said before, we have the SPF calculations, so we can tell you what the performance would be. We can offer the OPEX calculations. We have in-house 5 now applications engineers who can help with schematics, can help with design, and can help with ensuring that the system works effectively. We have a number of accreditations from quality control. Every product we bring into market goes through an internal stage gate process to make sure it's right for the systems it's going into, right for the market it's going into, commercially viable, and we always look at what we call PET, which is practical, economical, and technologically correct for the systems going into. Probably the latest addition to our range, which was the R290 heat pumps. We were supplying heat pumps for a year or two before that, but they were R32, which is a lower temperature, 55 degrees top end. The R290, we can get up to 75 degrees. So if you're looking at a hot water system, you won't have to have any immersion heaters to lift the temperature. And also on retrofit for systems where you have radiators, it's almost a replacement for any boiler that's already in there, because it can go in and do the same sort of temperatures. We were approached by the contractor, Pinnacle, regarding this project, which initially had planning design based around CHP, or a gas type system. They wanted to move away from that, but they wanted to retain some of the gas side. The client was looking for some ticks in the energy, or the green energy box as well. And we put together a proposal based on a heat pump and a cylinder to provide a pre-feed into 6 gas-fired water heaters and 2 cylinders, which would achieve the hot water requirements for the hotel, which was a 153-bed new build. I mean, one of the main things was the spec that was put forward originally was CHP, as I said. They then looked at various different options before speaking to us. We were put forward by the contractor to the consultant. This is where we started to look at the measurement of air source heat pumps, because the consultant was looking at another manufacturer whose SCOP was slightly better. I think ours was 4.2 and theirs was 4.3, so there wasn't a lot in it. We then done a full SPF across the whole system to tell them exactly what they would get from the system in its entirety. We also looked at the energy banding, because the energy banding, the system would be operating at a set temperature. The competitor's product at that banding was A++, and ours was actually A++. So on two fronts, we actually proved that ours was a more effective system. And as I say, we sized it based on the client's requirements. What it meant was that if the heat pump isn't working correctly or is being serviced, the gas-fired system and the cylinders would still provide enough water for the whole system. I think from our perspective, we've run a couple of focus groups over the last year or so, one in London, one in Manchester, and we've been working with a number of clients on stuff that we discussed in those meetings. SPF was something that came out of the first meeting, and latterly what has been discussed quite a bit is two things. One is water neutrality, how we can make sure that what we're looking to build doesn't affect the landscape that is already there. But the other one is recovering waste heat or waste energy. There's a number of systems out there on projects which all work separately from each other, but could actually benefit each other. So for instance, if you've got a system where you've got some waste heat coming out from an MVHR unit, could you capture that and put it across the coils of an air source heat pump to give it a bit of a pre-lift? So I do see a lot more movement in the industry of actual early involvement on projects, and also other manufacturers talking to each other about how their systems are going to work in conjunction with each other, which I think needs to come in. Basically, from our website, that's the main go-to. We have a training centre and the head office, which is in Runcorn. So if anybody would like to pop in and go through some bits, we can arrange for a visit to there. We also have an office within the building centre in central London, which is manned probably 2 to 3 days a week. But yeah, you can just drop us an email and we can set up a meeting.